If you are considering Islam and Christianity, if you don't go out and read the Quran, you're a bigot. If you don't go out and read the New Testament, you're an intellectual bigot. You're seriously considering Islam and Christianity. So you owe it to yourself as a thinking person to say, okay, now I got to find out. What did Muhammad teach? How did Muhammad treat people? How did he die? And what happened after his death? And you better do the same thing with Jesus Christ. You better read the Gospels, and you better figure out, what did Jesus teach? How did he treat people? How did he live his life? How did he die? And how did he rise from the dead? And then you better ask yourself the hard question. Does the evidence point to Muhammad being a reliable source of information? Or does the evidence point to Jesus Christ being a reliable source of information? Perfect. Muhammad insisted Jesus is not God. Repeatedly in the Quran, Muhammad teaches Jesus is not God. Wrong. But the problem is, Muhammad never met Jesus. What? He was born 570 AD. 540 years after Christ, Muhammad's born. So obviously, Muhammad never met Jesus. The eyewitnesses who saw Jesus, who heard Jesus, insisted Jesus claimed to be God. So either Muhammad is right, Jesus is not God, or the disciples are right, Jesus is God. So now I've got to ask, what's the evidence point to? And I can promise you, sir, I am never going to allow a guy who was born 540 years after the fact to be my primary source of information about a historical figure. Child. I want eyewitnesses. I want people who saw the person, who heard the person. So I think that Muhammad contradicts himself. But unfortunately, Muhammad, Jesus claimed to be God, which means he's not a good prophet. He's either a false prophet or he's who he claimed to be, God in human form. The middle ground, Muhammad, that you've chosen, Jesus, the good prophet, who we respect, not an option because of the extremity of Christ's claims to be God in human form. Christ is either a whack job, a false prophet, or he's who he claimed to be, God in human form.
Jesus is Lord! Greetings, family. Seto SSK speaking. Kindly share this video for us. Invite people, tag people, okay? Mr. Share, invite people, tag people. A opportunity. Tembiano. Enipa evolve. Because the more now the more you acquire knowledge, the more you can make a better decision. So what I say, and me can't say that is why the platform is beautiful. It is open for dialogue. It's not about I hate you, you hate me, and then we're saying insulting. There be we are grown ups. We are impending for okay. And you disagreeing with somebody, has nothing to do with insulting the person personally. You can disagree, and it's never a hate because you disagree with somebody. It's not reasonable. That any reasonable, so you would think that because somebody said something and I see it said what he said is not true, that means I am insulting the person. No, because he also thinks what somebody said is not true. But you will never say he's insulting somebody. That's what I say. And why do you know or conscience no? It is a view because agenda be when you want the agenda to prosper, okay? And this will be can be before Robina. A yen no crebi a bit a pull back agenda corner is when you find anything if I can attack you. That's what I say. But Obia attack you. Me, I'm not attacking you personally. I will never attack you there. I just say, oh, attacking me personally. Yeah. Okay, it's Abia, okay. I mean, nipa, but and yes, idea. We will always try to learn and try to evolve. The ye biano also told Trim said we want the ebeboa society, ebeboa Ghana, ebetimia boa me ya fire and 2 biafra. So what I say? It's not me a program. Avraham Ben Moshe Michao. Okay, me a video fast. Ben Moshe honom. Some people wanted to call in. Say almost bet me account margin. Actually, woman. But that video no a pre-recorded. Me didn't can you a video no. and I me post to no as live. Enti na ma post we esi a na esi minti me nye empeke ko bi abio. Say what they say na because they me post to as live. Me de bi share hono me post enti esi a esi. Eno nti na minti me anye den ampeke course bia no. And na me say anytime because na me pon late. Timbedru fie na sana me be share sa video we say no na aye late. The time na video na ankasa krampo no airborne no na me share and take computer ho me hwe bi the whole time because na me cater to the family. Say what I say. Nti am ya ma adwene say enne meba no ba be a phone lines na tom na obi a owo questions bi ama seto no because of the video nti no na ya de na analyze ni nyina no say Ben Moshe kan omoye ne se de bia okay slavery na a course or Ghana a course or Africa horrible thing mean can say slavery be happen can say slavery be happen but amount 4 years say a Bible no and a chere almost slavery no say what you say na almost Bible no and a chere almost slavery no and I may pass me chere amount 4 say enye no kre Bible no slavery na what Bible no no a totally different from the omode beye ye no the omode beye ye no omo formula no any Bible no yesa na Bible no chere enti analyze the Bible no chere na ye de compare the slaves no de beye wo ga enkofo no de beye wo Ghana na wo be hunu no kre no say wo agye say bia wo mpe no kre Tumpiwale, greetings Tumpiwale Michia, okay, share na Tumpiwale, you can call in, okay, because the phone lines are open. Point ni na and say free bibi to say if say Muslims obi a wonim Islam kakra bi say Muslims they prostrate Muslims for omoye prostration omoye Allahu Akbar no mo do mutia perform omoye prostration, okay. And say obi hunu prostration or Bible ni ma say Muslims no kwa mo de argument so omo hunu say obi ye prostration or Bible ni ma omo say nipa kro no so eye Muslim and to you see the same prostration what I say no even though say on prostration a totally different a comma a God the true God the one in the Bible no be prostrate to a Bible ni na the prostration is going to the true God the Father. So Muslim ni prostrate here he is not prostrating to the Father. And the Muslim ni prostration no and the opposite Muslim ni prostration no obey wudu obey rituals be answer no kwakwa in prostration. The all Bible may be different. But say who prostration or say na be who prostration was here. It doesn't mean say ni nyina the same thing. There were other religion one my Hindu for ne Buddha for no almost ye prostration. And just by saying prostration, it doesn't mean say you can't say prostration there and they increment for you know and no be na Hindu for so ye and no be na Buddha for so ye and no be na ye na nanom so ye in nanom so ye prostration. Say what you say. Yes, it is a woman the word slave or Bible numana. So who the word slave or Bible numa. And what's our share conditions ben a slave now Bible no more. Now who slave will not ever happen to you now. Conditions ben no almost more. And the same thing and Sunny a person who is what no. It's the infant Bible no war on before. You will maid servant or Bible name. The word maid servant. Ghana for enipa bebre omonye omo no omutimi han maid enti yemfa ne say Bible maid no ye ka so be a maid na a time to come na men paringo a time to come, okay, a man for abuse that word maid no na ye fa ne say so be your maid e wo fear or your property you can do whatever you want with the maid. So what e yen enye Bible na e kire sa o a man for be no ma abuse the word maid no just because they be a or your babia ye can say obi a maid servant no ekwakoye obi a sebe ne maame ne papa mawu aka wono nko ajanka ne ekwakofa no ne abaye ne maid servant enti woni kamafo bia no na a man for abuse oba we no mo abuse no in a year to come, time to come, me make a point keke, okay, we me make a point enti say 200 years later now, a man for be better say you can't maid servant. It is talking about such a person in reality, which people are doing it to the maid servant. They are very bad. Now, who maid servant so Bible numa We say, how can the Bible endorse maid servants? And say, and yes, I don't hear. And yeah, a man for being abuses that slavery, no, Africa, Islam, yes, slavery, no, abuse, no, not slaves, no, any rights be but the old Bible, no, they had rights. It is a person would compare slavery now. And what's a you and you can say the woo nimon into no, what the Bible share and also so the old Bible no. And I say because of our agenda been into no, person change na. Oh, yen said the omodiba ye and ananono, and na Bible on it. So we line we say so. Now we say, okay, Tumpiwale, let me put the phone number there. Or let me put the link there. Let me put the link there. But Tumpiwale, you can call on the phone because so last time I did link in a talk on no. I knew you for now won't mean Casa Tembiana air corso. Enti me did all the obeti after telephone line, okay? Me the link and so better to one. Oh, Tumpiwale is already calling. Sorry, my name so. Okay, my throw back. Suini called, Tumpiwale called, but Tumpiwale called first. So let me call Tumpiwale. Okay? Let me call Tumpiwale first. Hello? Yeah, Tumpiwale, greetings. Bibiaboko.
Yeah, greetings. Bibiaboko.
Now, okay, put your voice in the mic. Okay, now I'm for anti sound in here. Put your mic, I think so you can do better. Yeah, me pan. And the topic now, and no, I'm here, no program, I'm here, and run. Now, person will fret, ding. I mean, who say, and the cramp, what tremor, so anything I'm picking course and ra. But me didn't can't the cronin tra, okay? And the question, Ben, and I warm up program name run. Question, Ben, and
okay, then I mentioned a new question there, but Nina, as some now can now I say, who difference now will make it, no, to me, no, it doesn't make sense. So what I say, as some now can who person which I say slavery na our Bible no, and yet the same thing I'm with the bay. Sana na person who can, and yes,
hey, Sana America, yes.
Sana made the moons who can. Sakasa, your cardia who can, we are right, and yet the same thing there. But yes, we have to say, the fact to say, what would this slave no, and was shared Bible no, and until I'm a woman idea, ebe in slave. So as I say, me imagine no, I imagine the first woman to question Bible no, na woman idea, and buy it. But it can never be the same to say the Bible no there, but it is still in the form of slavery. No. So what I say, still in the form of slavery. Miss Anna, imagine me.
Now, okay. The
way we see can person just say a different cry. Bible Muslim in there, a strong, a holy. And I don't want to be a cruel, and it's then I'm person which I
okay, but me teach them Mukakram, me teach them Mukakram.
Person may be a son and person can't so make me could do Kakrama. Why?
Now, okay, to Paul by Jinaso, okay. But Ben Moshe Muna, or Moyen say, or more much Bible, no, and or Modiba enslave ye, and or Moyen say, a Bible, a chair, almost or Mumma or Moye slave, Bibisana, I say, or more catch a man for, so what I say. And I mean, they be signing the no crest, I mean, yes, sure, and to me, so bet my friend Ben, which I can't and say, and no crest, and they know what kind of and no crest, I'll bet my casatran.
No, but Avraham on can to say they all can.
On can say what can on can say.
Okay, Avraham no person or chess as we any Avraham kwana or can yin na its for yin na yekabi. Say the fact to say we must slave a question Bible no. I know na my ya nkofo idea. Emma womu embe slave ye. That's how the Avraham on can say say we omu da sha Bible no ntina for chair or say womu koye idea no. Ebi awuna wonti ase yi dia do no dia. We say we ase na we the way obi ati ase.
Me bom mu share video no. Me bom mu share video ni bi on. Tie be e be say video. There be went say so Tumpiwale tobo me ni komo.
Me tell you, my mention problem kakra wo no because they say no work Christian into everything be and taken from the perspective of Christian. Was I know and it's taken from perspective of Christianity. Now me to say for example, I take everything from perspective of atheism. It is a metimino only and Tiasia no.
Okay, Mami Kasa Kakra, now I'm for Enyamantias, okay. Yawo, I did a Bible, okay. Say, Ben Moshe Kasafa Juan, Minyantias, okay. Nasa or can say the Bible, ne cana. May be the Bian Fahon. Say, be or can be beer. Nasa, minim says, Asema or can we say, or Bible nim, Ebia Mena Minyantias, and sound okay, but me make a hearing Fahon. But say, or can be. Nasa, me who say, or shed that chian or portraying in a way be the chira man for. Na enye sample the Bible ne ka dia ene metima ba beka na menima me ba beka say daddy
nobody you have to come out. That's what we want. Because in Suya there, because Musa in Suya there, when we are going to need for back
for trim. That is exactly my point. Yanko the word slave no so okay. Yanko the thing and say okay. My Musa question we say no. Say emphasis say maid servant e Bible nim. So we say maid servant or Bible nim. So
yeah.
Obikwa kwa maid servant. Ebi so Bible nim no. Enti Bible ne kasa fa maid servant hono. Now oma the duty of a maid servant, the rights of a maid servant, any bibisa or maid servant or Bible nim no. Now say be 2,000 years later, 2,000 years later, some people no abuse their maid servant. Omu ye maid obi o maid servant bia no ye na ade bone as omu repu maid servant, omu ku maid servant kwampa ye mfa ho because o ye maid servant. Omu ye maid servant na basa ene yaka de. Na say amanfo na say ene ye kan ye history na ye ka say he mo hwe de nkofo bi de maid servant. Na ye kokko hunu the word maid servant e Bible no ma. A Bible no na kire omo so omo nkoye sa na say maid servant na Bible no different from the omo de koye nkofo no.
Oh, say ban sa de ka say the common sense beto ho dia ewo Bible no anya no mo hwe so ade eduma na mama ka jo still settle upa wuti ye Christian ya me na me ka chawo you can never follow Christian. I mean Jesus you can never follow
even you see now because I can never do something, no, it doesn't mean that I will not try. I can never reach a be at 700. Tumpiwale mami kasabi. Tumpiwale mami kasabi. Tumpiwale tiebi kakra tiebi. I maybe say I will never reach 600 years. I will never reach 300 years. Maybe I will never reach 200 years. But just because I will never reach, no, doesn't mean say I will never try to say me live the longest I can live. So what I say now, you can then say I can never be perfect. I will never try. You do your best. But yet, me men can say I can never be righteous. Azabe wo me life mu kakra make twan tro kakra
I know the Bible na ka simple account na me make say
yeah today na wodi we ba example would be example you do your best tumpiwale you do your best but
okay that's what I'm going to we doing our best
okay and tumpiwale tie mama kan okay you was slave or Bible ni mono. You was slave or Bible. The word slave na in the translations ni mono. Okay. Now say slave or Bible ni mono. They have their rights. They have their protection. The slaves no. It was a specific period of time. The slave you couldn't kill the slave and go for free. So the word slave was there, but years to come, years later, no, some people came and they used the same word slave, and they went overboard.
They abuse it.
Yes. So now you cannot say because the Bible no mentions slave, any slave now the one that I told you the one that you name say bad, and until the Bible but say what was the rights of our ancestors, as slaves, Did they have any right?
Money right.
Okay, but the Bible no more right and also no money right.
Bible no so money right the same way.
I don't think the Bible no can say who Bible no say who could slave na the one master na who slave no to yem kono. I don't think that only right. So who can say only right? I don't think the Bible.
I for the Bible no na work kasa answer no, but I don't know so Bible na different there.
That be okay be Exodus no. Exodus.
No, maybe I don't want to go to Bible. Because Bible, the way you understand it, is different from the way maybe I will understand it.
Yeah, because
me understanding on the slavery in the Bible, clear. And you're afraid now for verses be best.
Now, okay, into one understanding the slave in the Bible, you're saying, Claire is saying, one understanding you're saying.
Okay, the slave in the Bible, I'm not going to Avraham Obiaka will be asking or say, can pray now, why would read it? Or say, Ubu slave, not a slave, no, or would that day now, would that day, that's all, and the whole problem, whatever. But
I said, whatever, what problem, Ben?
When the problem is or you would according to Bible,
there be Sana Bible ne kind, Sana Ben Moshe kind. We are sure Sana Ben Moshe kind.
Sana Bible ne kind. Bible nyame ne wo tro ye.
Bible ne kind say kabiola yiti. Bible ne kind say.
Ya be to wiase na ye nyina ye wa adwene na ye di check.
Okay, Bible ne kind say, Bible ne kind say to what Bible ne kind say kabiola yiti.
Okay, maybe according to my understanding no, on the Abraham obi aka nya de fufuro. And you have the for slave, you know, those times, you know, slave masters, you know, they own slaves, and they own them, and they can do whatever they want with them. They own them. It's a slave liner or the buyer.
It's Bible no verse ben or kind of Bible verse ben the kind of Tumpiwale. Bible verse ben the kind of say they own the slave, they can do whatever they want with them. Bible verse ben. Okay, Tumpiwale, if you verse, we are not frame back, okay? We'll be online, so I mean, swinging casa, okay?
Okay.
Okay. As usual, okay. Discussion and very important. Say a bit more communicative. Say Adama brother we say so Honoma join the program. Mr. Wan very nice. Join the program. The link not to Honoma, okay. You better my join the program no. Suinia join it. Mr. Wan for link and join the program. No in komo ha say. Seto SSK and Kasan, okay. Question answer Tumpiwale say Bible ne say obi a slave now you be abetim there no on provide verse my okay on provide all my source be near fan kasa Suini can you hear me? Okay, Suini is not picking. Okay, so somebody is calling. Let me see who is this. Hello. Yeah, Suini, hold on small because you delayed a little bit. I've already picked somebody. Hello, when I can say. Hello, when I can say. A Ghana call, okay. Hello, when I can say. A Ghana call. Come on, say.
Sorry, your friend is solo because from Ghana.
Yeah, solo more than necessary.
But you can be seeing now. I'm saying, I'm going to video that to Oma. The crime go through.
Okay, so a freezy, so is steady.
So I want to say, pay your explanations as to whether. Hello, but what you can?
Yeah, about back. But solo we a Muslim and I say we a Christian and I say we a non-believer.
My kind of say, that religious. I used to be religious, but many religious.
Is it Upa say Muslim will be on Sana walk another say?
But just say
Upa say Muslim will be on another say. Be Kasaye, Mr. Wa.
Okay, the other all canana, the person may share my girl.
Yeah, but me person who identity answer. And if you either say Obaka say unye Christian, unye Muslim, unye Christian, unye Muslim, we are atheist, we are agnostic. Be said by me who point of view, okay?
So person who say Christian and I say Muslim.
And I say we are agnostic, we are atheist. And I say then we nananom sorry, nananom so on. And today now we did this say.
Me and some Christian, Yankana some Christian.
Okay, we are
Christian, like Christian.
Now okay, me solo.
Yeah, me person me found say I'm going to be video na life here we use some mati dia wo kan nyina ye na. Me hu say men can say even though the Bible didn't state specifically what by saying book no say endorse slavery. But for the fact that say aim to me and condemn slavery totally means that at least it support it. But you make it ultimately.
Me to the what can I say? Yes.
Say men can say Bible natural grab video now that one watch as a Bible natural kwanya yemfa so any slave entina. One can say the slavery to me say said you so offer slave banana say in this. But when you to say the way a Bible nature kwanya yamfa so entry to slavery means that it agrees to it to say there is nothing wrong with owning a slave. Because so which me kwanya memfa so na many obintina that means me pa me tina no what does a me tina say nuya what does a me tina say matamfo you agree to it because them for some me madam for neti me tamfo neti fie and I will tell me kwanya me na tamfo neti that means you don't see anything wrong with her me many or tamfo neti fie
okay
how to the American house
material what
in a nutshell me person can be person fish no be so that so you know
hello
and nutshell the me name of what your kwanya yamfa so any slave in there then it agrees say owning a slave is not the same as a user.
Okay. Solo what you know kakara me musa questions. Me my example be before no with the maid. Me the maid make example. So what say the mekan no. Hello what mekan?
Yes, to meet you.
Into the point now what I said and they say slavery na Bible no okay? At that time no that slavery na a course so no okay? It wasn't seen said abeto ye na nanom no. Enti Emma say Bible no use slave crampon at that time no a slave to own a slave and also to have a slave no it wasn't like because or you're black it wasn't because say bia ono ye Ghana ni or any patuntum na we ye white it wasn't say a slave no be unya slave na it wasn't the old Bible no it wasn't so kwa kidnap obi kwa catch obi na kwa ton no it wasn't that. It's the slave now Bible no the purpose no it was something it was a kind of a system it was used it not a bois community so what you say now it was a kind of a system a Bible no na it used to help people say be a Bible ne can say obi koko wi ade na say ontimi entwia ade ko na koko wi ane kana ye betimi aton no awon ko asom ni mo no say the be ya or the be pay the debt. Every grandpa causes here, people go to prison, they become the slave of the system. It was a way, and I said it was a system now. The Bible, no, it was there to protect people, and I said to guide people, and I said to help people. And in centuries, no, they use the word the same slave, no, but abuse the also and exaggerate here, and wicked things. And it is slave. Na ya adwena kwa kosi ye nanom de ne so no but the Bible no na Bible no ma ho guidelines no so what I say na make asafa the Bible no ma ho guidelines any regulations no it is not the same say bia it was there to help people it was say the any amount for koye made no omko di power pa no so what I say it was a system to help people to help the needy the poor people it wasn't like me ko capture we say no makwa koton no na manya profit na Jesus said, eba no only slave bia. And then me person what say it is slavery na e Bible no the Bible no before say emrofo ne ba say slavery no ba be na something bad no. Me make example ba kon e kire so yi ni enro akrampo me friend after the program no. Yeah, me ba solo woni ma dey friend swastika. So what be this sir Adolf Hitler ne sign na omo use no. Hello, solo temenka. Now, okay. There was your friend swastikas, okay? Yes, Adolf Hitler, the sign now we use no. Sign, I mean, person my ye be on my Bible come video, okay? And I say yes, I then I shut me down. But swastika no, and a forbidden. I will also have say, what dress it now? Trust our sign to man. Asem, you better find out. Untimi nyane wa say untimi nyane wa Germany ye wo kro bebre wo so na sa sign no forbidden but before no ye were in history no that sign no it used to stand for something good it used to stand for something righteous it used to not stand for something good but Adolf Hitler time when they do honom no and one no far the same sign na wo honom na man for respect sign no na man for timi embraces our sign no Adolf Hitler baba fa sign no ono the year ono the sign no sign that say it is ne and the who obi no sha uniform na say sign ni boma who ni pa kon say o support Hitler But bia enkasa picture chrono a time on an sign e would din e what animonyam no. So what I say. And you can never use say a din way or Bible nimu, a din way or Bible nimu, and they be happening in history so embrace so thousands of years later no. And the Bible nimu no endorse the happen or has no. And tesa me point in no. The Bible no and need a two in an and in the she. So what I say.
But
Time I will 2 minutes. No, but
I also kind of say like there is no difference between slavery and our Bible. Many they are two and I'm sorry,
there is a big difference. Big difference.
Slavery in the Bible was totally different from the ones our ancestors experienced.
My
question is, slavery in general, whether the whole Bible and answer the 2 years and is it a good thing or not?
And I make catch say, okay, slavery, the nimuno is not a good thing.
In those days, maybe it makes sense in those days that maybe I so I say a time so.
And yes, there be a solo TBO. It didn't only make sense those days, no. It was helpful. It was helpful. It was a way out to help the needy. So what you say? It was helpful. I think the solo telephone cost say okay 10 minutes impossible. Person will be at 10 minutes. Solo the encasa later, okay? Because telephone MSC app. And you put link and enable link and so okay, Mr. Wa. At least 10 minutes I solo no. And also motia say you who slavery or Bible nimu, but men can't say slavery never happen. And yes, I may try to make us slavery now about 2 years and no. It was justified. Menkasa a horrible satanic act. But in your Bible, so you know
yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Now, okay. So that's how we try and say.
Yeah, no problem.
Mr. Wabetime Akasa the opposite can be an okay. You can speak in English and answer the opinion.
Okay. After the program, first of all, greetings. Yeah, we spoke a little bit yesterday, but what I just want to say is that I think you are, what do you call it, number one, you are actually misreading the verse which Abraham quoted. That is one. Two, you are also trying to, what do you call it, somehow justify the slavery by saying that what happened with our ancestors is not the same that is in the Bible, which I think is it's a little bit disturbing, to be honest with you.
Okay. So let's go point for point. Okay, so when you say I am justifying what happened to our ancestors, how am I justifying that? In what case?
Can we first take the other point, which is the verse, the Bible verse that Abraham quoted yesterday, and then you are saying he's using it for his own agenda. I want to address that first.
Yeah, okay, we can address that verse, okay, but you are trying to tell me, say, I want everything to be clear. So let's be clear, okay? I am saying the slavery in the Bible has absolutely nothing to do with the slavery that happened to our ancestors. What happened to our ancestors was horrible. Nobody should justify anything what happened to us. But for you to attribute it to the Bible, that means we have to find the similarities, what they did to us in the Bible. And when I asked you yesterday this question, okay, now people are listening to the conversation too. I am trying to let people know the slavery in the Bible, the slaves, they were protected, they were guided, they have their rights. The slavery that happened to us, our ancestors, they had no rights. They didn't have any rights. The slave master owned them to the extent that even if the slave master kills that slave, our ancestors, there was no punishment for the slave master. Do you accept that?
No, I don't. I think
so. Are you saying the slave master? You say you don't? Okay, okay, fine. So according to you, that means the slavery that happened to our ancestors Every time a slave master killed one of our ancestors, the slave master was killed. Is that what you are saying?
You see, I think the problem is that you are picking one or 2 points, and then you're trying to use it to justify what happened.
Sweeney, I want an answer. You said no, you don't agree with me. So give me an answer. Is it true? Are you saying our ancestors, they were protected? They had a good protection. If the slave master beats him and he dies, the slave master will also be killed. Is that what you are telling the audience right now?
Listen, let me speak a bit so that I'll make my point clear. Okay, because I think what you are doing, this is a very broad topic. So, but what you are doing, you pick 1 or 2 verses from the Bible, and then you're trying to use that to justify what happened, which I think is completely wrong. Number one, the verses that is in the Bible, you have to divide them in 2. We have verses that govern the servants of people who are Israelis, because the Israelis, when they could sell themselves in case they are in debt, they did that to help the people of Israel. But then they have different rules that govern people who were not Israelis. Those they could basically buy and sell. You understand?
Who could basically buy? Who could basically buy?
The Jews, they could buy
the
and
Jews,
sell.
Okay. So you are saying the Bible gave the permission to the Jews that they can buy Gentiles, right?
Yes, and sell.
So the people who came to Ghana to enslave us, were they Jews? Were they Jews?
Yes, you don't know that?
So the Portuguese, they are Jews?
Sato, let's not even go there. Let's keep to the point. The point is that
we are keeping to the point. You see, even if we go according to what the Bible is saying, but you still dodged my question. I want people to understand the slavery standard
in context, Sato. We have to understand.
No, Suini. Give me an answer. I want an answer for this question. You said I am the one justifying slavery. But it is it seems to me that you are justifying slavery because you are telling the audience right now, our ancestors, they had their right. That is what you are telling our
They never had right. When did I say that?
You said it before. I asked you and you said yes, they had their right.
No. If I said that, then it's a mistake. I will never ever accept that our ancestors had right. They basically abused and killed and raped them, which is absolutely horrible. So I will never ever accept that.
I'm glad that you have accepted it, okay? Because before you said they had right. So now listen, Suini. So now that is the point here, okay? So we know from you right now, you are telling us our ancestors had no right. They didn't have any right. The slave masters owned them, and they could do whatever they want with them. And even if the slave master killed our ancestor, nothing will happen to the slave master. Is that true?
Yes, that's what happened.
According to the Bible, what will happen to the slave master who beats his slaves and killed the slave?
According to the Bible, if you want, that's what I even just wanted to talk about, because you have to divide, because you have verses that talk.
But just say according to, you see now you don't answer the question. According to the Bible, what will happen? See, look at this. According to the Bible, what will happen? Ben Moshe agrees. Ben Moshe said it, yes, if the slave master beats the slave and the slave dies, the master will be killed. Eye for an eye.
Sato, I do not disagree that there is a verse in Exodus saying that if the slave master beat a slave that dies, then they should put the master to death. That is correct.
But you said you don't agree.
Sato, I don't think you are listening.
You are behaving like a Muslim. You see, when you ask a Muslim a question, they will be telling you stories that you never asked for. You have just let us know that our ancestors, they didn't have any rights. They were abused. But the Bible is teaching that the ones in the Bible, the slavery in the Bible,
so
they were just as valuable as the.
Are you talking for me or what?
Yeah, but you don't answer the question. I want the straight answer.
But don't talk for me. Don't say things I have not said. That get me mad. All right.
Okay, so okay, let me try one more time. Okay, let me try one more
Yeah.
time because you have made one side clear, but the other side I didn't get a clear answer. So you said our ancestors they didn't have any rights. Those Portuguese, those people who came to West Africa, the British people who came to West Africa, they colonized us, enslaved us, and did horrible things to us. Okay, our ancestors had no rights. They were captured, they were sold, they were beaten, they were killed, tortured, and do whatever with them. They didn't have any rights. That is what you have let us understand right now. So other slavery that I am saying it is in the Bible. That slavery in the Bible, the slaves in the Bible, did they have any rights? Were the masters able to kill them for just like that without any consequence? That is what I want you to answer. Please.
No. If the Bible says that if the master beat the slave who dies, then he should also be killed.
Okay. So are they is this slavery? Are they the same? The ones in the Bible and the one in the
Seto, that's what I'm telling you. You are pinpointing just one or two things, and
okay,
you are
but
trying
is
to get
it the same?
issue. It's the same, yes.
So how is it the same that in the Bible you killed the slave master, and you have let me know that in reality, in our ancestors' time, they didn't have to kill this slave, and the slave master will not be killed.
Seto. Even if the slaves were given very few rights in the Bible, and those who came to Africa and enslaved our ancestors did not give them any right. That still do not justify the enslavement of our ancestors. You
No, I'm not
understand?
justifying it. You see, you are trying to say it's like I'm justifying it was okay for them to come and enslave Africa. I'm not. I never said that.
So you haven't said that, but you are saying that what happened in Africa and what happened in the Bible, they are two separate things, and therefore the one in the Bible is okay, but the one that happened in Africa is not okay. I think that's what I'm getting from you. But my point is that the that came to Africa to enslave
So,
Africans.
is that what you are getting from me? So, do you want me to explain to you so that you get it from me directly?
Yeah, you can repeat it if you think what I said is wrong.
Okay. So people are trying to bring it to merge it together. Like the slavery that happened to us, it is directly from the Bible.
Which
People
I
are making
agree.
it seem.
I agree 100%.
So you agree 100% that the slavery that happened to our ancestors is
Yeah,
directly from the Bible. Is that what you agree with?
correct. Yes, they use the Bible verses to justify
No. So the
what
Bible verses, and that's what I mean. The Bible verses says the slave master who kills a slave is to be put to death. Did it happen?
Yeah, but you are reading just one verse. Can you read me the other verse that says
Okay,
that
give me the other verse that says when the slave master
can-
kills the slave, nothing will happen to the slave master. Give me that verse.
yeah,
I want to see.
that is the Exodus, I think 21, 21. That says that is what Abraham was quoting.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what Exodus. So
Saying
Exodus 21:21 says, if you kill the slave master kills the slave, nothing will happen to him.
come again.
Exodus 21:21 is saying, if the slave kills the slave master, if the slave master kills the slave, nothing will happen to him. Is that what you are saying?
No. It says that if a slave master kill a slave, that is
Mhm.
the 20, then the slave master should be killed. Then 21, it says if the master should beat the slave,
Mhm.
and slave uh, live for 3 days, 2 or 3 days, then there's no punishment for the slave master, right? So what
No,
happened?
it's not right. That is what I'm saying. It's not right.
Wait, wait.
It is the first understanding from you guys.
You are the one who is not understanding. So just
Okay,
wait.
so let's read it and see. Let's read it and see.
No, wait,
Okay,
Seto. Wait, wait.
I'm waiting. It's on the screen right
Just
now.
give me 1 or 2 minutes to explain something to you. You see the verse. It says,
Mhm.
if the slave master should beat the slave, and the slave live for 1 or 2, 3 days, then the slave master will not be punished. So, can you tell me what happens in the case when the slave dies after 3 days, what is the punishment in the Bible?
The slave master will die because he died. If he died in the course of the beating, it doesn't. Let's read the verse again. Let's read the verse. Okay. Let's read the verse. It is on the screen right now, so people can read it for themselves. You cannot read it anyhow, and then let's read the verse. It is there. Okay. Anyone who beats their male or female slaves with a rod must be punished if the slave dies as a direct result. So did you hear that? So what this verse is saying, this verse is saying the cause of his death is because of your beating him or her. You must be punished, and your punishment is what? Death. The punishment is what?
Which is good, but go next.
Okay, so we have the punishment. What is the punishment?
No, next verse.
We get it. So what will be the punishment if the person dies?
It's death, yeah.
It's death. So the key word here is the punishment. The punished, okay, is death. So listen, but they are not to be punished if the slave recovers after a day or two, since the slave is their property. So this verse is right here. It's telling you. So let me finish explaining it, and you can explain your portion. Okay. If the person did not die, he recovers. That means there is no need for you to kill that slave master because the person did not die as a direct result. Did you hear that? So this punished, he is not to be punished. It is representing he is not to be killed because let's say, okay, you beat him so severe that he's laying in the bed. He's laying in the bed that he could die tomorrow. So if he dies tomorrow, what will happen to the slave master? He will die because the slave master, he died in the direct, that is still in the direct result. But if the slave recovers a day or two and he gets up, he is no more sick, he's not dying from this result, then the slave master is not to be punished in the sense that he is not to be killed because the slave has recovered from his beatings. You get a point?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah.
So so he is not to be punished. This punished here, it is the same punishment that would happen before if he died. But since the slave did not die, there is no need for you to kill the slave master. There is a different punishment then because the capital punishment is over. He is not to be. He does not have to receive the capital punishment, and that is what the verse is saying. It doesn't say if he dies after 2 days, then the slave is it's okay. After 2 days he can die. It doesn't say that. Like Ben Moshe was saying in the audio. So this is what the verse is saying.
Yeah, what you just said is wrong.
Okay. Yeah. So according to this verse, even according to this verse alone, okay, did our ancestors have this kind of
wait. Don't jump. Let me explain something to you. I want to explain the verse.
Explain the verse.
Okay. So now the verse says that if the first one, that is 20, says that if the master beat the slave, he dies, is death. That is clear. Then 2, the second verse says, should in case the slave is not dead, day 1, day 2, day 3, then there's no punishment for the slave master. Right? But my question is, what about if the slave should die after day 3? Let's say he died after day 4. Can you give me a Bible verse that says that after day 4, this is what is going to happen to the slave master?
Okay. So let me explain. You see now, so it is all about the recovery. So the slave, if you beat the person and he lays down 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and he has not recovered due to the beatings, the slave master is still in the position that he could be killed because the slave has not recovered.
Verse is that you are talking about? Where is it?
It is there. It is on in the screen. It is about recovery. But if let's read again. But they are not.
That is, you said 1, 2, 3. I think it's 3 days. I'm not seeing the screen.
How long do you want them to count it?
No, but if you can, I'm 100% sure you've seen many cases. You've heard many cases. Someone will something will happen to someone, and he will die after 3 or 4 or 5, even a week after. So what happened? What is the punishment for the guy who has actually caused the injuries so that the person dies? Can you give me a Bible verse that?
Okay. So Suini, the verse is on the screen. I'm glad the verse is on the screen. Listen carefully. Verse number 20. Anyone who beats their male or female slave with a rod must be punished if the slave dies as a direct result. So listen carefully. So if the slave dies as a direct result, it didn't give you any time, any specific time. So the slave could, because you beat the slave is unconscious, the slave is in coma for 2 weeks, and he dies after 2 weeks. Is it a direct result or not?
It is. It's the results of.
It is a result. So it doesn't. So you get it. So even after you beat the person, listen carefully, Suini. You brought the verse. You beat the person. Now the person is unconscious. Listen, wait. The person is unconscious but not dead, and he stays unconscious for 1 week. He stays unconscious for 1 week and he dies. What will happen to the slave master?
Nothing. According to the second verse.
He died in the direct result.
No, but the second verse says if the guy
if he recovers, he recovers
for 1 or 2, 3 days,
and then he recovers. He recovers. He did not die, so he recovers. He is fit.
If that recover, it's not even the correct understanding of the original meaning. Is that if the guy stand up and walk 3 days, the Hebrew, the Hebrew, the original.
Look at this. You see. That is why I said the Bible. You are forcing yourself. It is clear there. I've given you the perfect example because you beat the person. Now the person is in coma.
Wait. We are learning.
Amazing.
Go down, scroll down. You will see many places where it's not talking of recover. It's not talking about recovery. Go down, you will see. Scroll down.
Tell me where down. When you say down, verse number what? So give me the verse.
Myself, but you can do that. So don't just stand on one. Don't.
But you see now you quoted this verse. Now the verse is on the screen, and every sincere person is reading this verse. The direct.
Can you show us different translation?
Different translation. Which one? You give me a translation you prefer.
There, just scroll down and show people, so that they see.
You want me to show different verse or what? What do you mean? What do you mean? Scroll down.
Different verse. The verse, that same verse, there are many different translations on it.
So you want a different translation or different verse?
No, I'm not talking of different verse, different translations.
So which translation do you prefer? Because if I give you another translation,
and click anyone, just scroll maybe 5 down and click anyone. They'll give you different translation.
Look at this New International Version. Okay,
yeah.
He doesn't like it. Let me choose. So which one do you like?
Let's say take King James Version, for example.
King James Version. Okay, I take New King James Version. Okay, let's see. Look at it. So go verse number 20. So the translation now, it depends on the translation. Okay, King James Version. Let's see what it says. Let's see what King James Version says. Verse number 20. If a man beats his male or female slave with a rod so that he dies under his hand, okay, he shall surely be punished. Okay, so the punishment for killing somebody is death, right? That is what King James is also saying.
No one is arguing about it.
No one is arguing about that. So he dies under his hand. Notwithstanding, if he remains alive, day or two, he shall not be punished.
Yes,
okay?
Correct.
For he is his property.
So now, according to this verse, if the guy is beaten and he's not dead for 1 or 2 weeks, there is no punishment for the owner. So now the question is, what happens if the guy died after the 4th day?
The punishment is still because if the death is by the hands, he dies. It states it right there. Listen carefully. You see now.
Can you give us the verse?
It is there, verse 20. The death, the cause of the death. Okay, you see now. Okay, wait. There must be an examine, right? The cause of the death is by beating. So what will happen if the cause of the death is because of the beating?
Yeah, if you beat the guy, he dies. Is death.
Okay, but if what if he doesn't die immediately? He dies. He's in the coma, and then he dies 1 week later.
Yeah, it says that if the guy is not dead for 1 or 2 days,
No,
then
no,
there's
no,
no
no, no,
punishment.
no, no. I said you beat the guy. The guy is unconscious. He's in coma for 1 week, and then he dies. And after you beat him, and then he's unconscious and he dies after 1 week, it is still under your hand. He died because of your hand. The point
Where
is
are
that
you
you see, Sweeney, because I think you are trying to play games, but I think the
No,
ones
you are trying to play games, Seto. You are rather trying.
let's see. Okay, let me say it like this. Let me say it like this. To me, it is trying to tell you if a slave master beat his slave and the slave did not die, there is no need for you to kill the slave master. The slave master does not deserve the capital punishment. So if the slave that he was beating survives and he's alive, then you don't have to punish the slave master with this capital punishment. Then,
yeah. So what happens when he dies after 3 days?
then the slave master it is his fault because he dies under his hand.
Which verse is saying that after 4 days, if he dies, the slave master should
Which
be
verse
free?
is saying that after 2 days and he dies, then the slave master goes free? Which verse is saying that?
It's Exodus 21, I think.
Okay, show me. Notwithstanding, if he remains alive 1 or 2 days, he shall not be
Yes.
punished. So where does it
Yes.
say that? Then after 1 or 2 days and then he dies, where does it say that?
No. The point is that, listen, the point is that the verse is giving you a condition that you beat the guy, he's not dead for 1 or 2 days, you are not to be punished. So the question now remains, what happens if the guy dies day 4? What is the
Okay.
punishment?
And then I'm telling you, if the guy, so you are asking a question, right? It's not what the verse is saying, right?
Yeah, I'm listening.
You are asking a question. So if the
Yes.
guy dies in day 4, and the reason of his death is the direct because of the beating, then according to verse 20, it is the slave master's fault. Because the verse 20 is saying, if he dies in the direct hands, because of the beating. So because of the beating, and then he dies, then it is the master's fault. That's what the verse is saying. But when the
No.
person recovers,
So I'm glad that people have actually seen
yes,
the whole that Abraham was not wrong.
of course Abraham was wrong. He is
No,
saying there. So
because
that is
you
why
see,
I ask you. I ask you right now. Abraham is saying, after 2 days and when he dies, the master must go. Where does it say that?
that's why I'm asking you. Can you give me a
No.
verse?
So why didn't you ask Abraham? Did you ask Abraham? Where did the verse say that after 2 days when he dies, he is not to be punished? Did you ask Abraham this?
But the verse is there. I'm just saying exactly what Abraham said. I'm telling
No.
you that
Okay.
the
So what is the punishment for killing somebody?
is death.
Is death. So if the
Yeah.
person died after 2 days and the death is, you see, if the person died after 2 days and the death is still the direct hand of the slave master, who killed them?
According to me, you kill the guy and you are still responsible. But according to the verse, after 2 days, if the guy has not died after 2 days, the guy is free. So let's say if he dies after,
That means that he has recovered. That means he has recovered for the
no,
beatings.
no,
So
no,
Suini, it is like, okay, if the man recovers after 2 days and then he walk on the street and somebody hits him with a car, is it a slave master to be killed?
no, it's not, because that's not his fault.
That is not his fault. So if the
Yeah.
person recovers, it is talking about recovery. Now we have seen the time that
No,
the
but
person has recovered.
recovery will say the verse 21 is not, is saying if the guy is alive or stand up and walk. That is actually the original meaning. So it's not saying that the guy has recovered and he's okay. And
Where does it say that? Where does it say that stand up and walk? You see, now you are trying to use a translation that will suit your
no,
agenda. But when
I've
we
checked,
continue, verse
I've
number
checked,
20 says, what does verse number 20 says?
checked the Hebrew, Seto. That's what I'm telling you.
No. You see now, we as verse number 20 says, what does it say? The same
No,
story. If a man strikes the eye of his male or female servant, so the Bible is giving you another law regulation. If the master strikes the eye of the male or female servant and destroys it, he shall let him go free for the sake of his eye. Was this the law for our ancestors?
Come again, I didn't get your question.
Was this the regulations? Was this the rights that our ancestors had?
Our ancestors didn't have any rights. I've said it before.
Okay, so that means we are not speaking about the same thing, right?
What? So we are speaking about the same thing.
Suini, you as a person, I know you know Christianity and you know Islam. When the Christians are praying to God and the Muslims are praying to Allah, are we praying to the same God?
No.
Oh no. Okay, so when the Bible, the slavery the Bible is speaking about here, that with this regulation and the slavery that we know from history from our ancestors, is it the same slavery?
It's the same because the slavery.
Okay, I think people, everybody get the point. It's the same, but when it comes to the Quran and the God, it's not the same. You know, you just said our ancestors didn't have any rights, but you then turn around and say it is the same. The Bible is giving them rights here.
Saito, do you agree with me that there was different rules that govern slaves that were not Israelis? Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that, but it doesn't change the fact that these slaves that we are talking about, they are not Israelis.
Wait. So do you know that they were treated as slaves? Do you know that?
They were what?
The Israelis could not be treated as slaves, but
yes, okay, I know that too.
Yeah. So why are you know that, and then yet you are claiming that the slavery in the Bible is not the same that happened to our ancestors?
You yourself, you just said our ancestors had no right. You just said it. And the slavery that we see it on the screen right now, you can see that they have rights.
I'm sure people are calling, so let me just
okay. So just hang out, okay? Hang on over there for us, please. Jerry. Oh, let me see the name clearly, okay? Jobeni or the Jobni. Are you there?
Yeah, Mr. Seto.
Yeah, greetings. Where are you speaking from? Ghana, and I say.
Yeah, me Ghana. I think so. Like I've had some conversation with you back, like when you were still a CSF member. Like now you're fully blown CSF member. Yeah.
And I was waiting there. What are you?
Yeah, now, like me not have a conversation. This like my parents. Me half a Muslim and half a Christian.
Okay,
yeah.
But
like
father Muslim.
Yeah, me personally congratulate you on your final decision to become a Christian. Congratulations.
Me that's it.
But
very nice.
Yeah.
Welcome to say me that's it.
But yeah, but still, I don't agree.
What are you Muslim? And I say we Christian say.
No. She said they're 8 years.
We're 8 years. Oh,
yeah.
But when you say 8 years, yeah, and you're the papa. When you say
8 years,
8 years, and 8 years, there be 8 years, and that's so be any 8 years. They say they be attention. When I'm on, okay, whatever. Because for 8 years for okay.
Like last week we show we now about morality. First of all, slaves no not more rights.
Yes.
And yeah, in the Bible, slavery not more rights.
Mm-hmm.
They had now more rights. And some Becca trouble master say, and then I mean, person may slave be make coffee now.
Yes, that is a good question. According to the Bible, no, the slave regulations now has say no, it was a form of a system. It used to help those in need. So what it say ABS services here all Ghana on me, all Ghana. Now
then the Bible is not a moral book. Say in order to help someone, if you have to label that person as a slave, the meaning of a slave itself, like slave immoral word. So what I say, slavery and a slave immoral word.
I don't know. Say I don't know.
There is no way you can sugarcoat it. There is no way you can justify it.
Mamika said, "Who's the American? Okay, if I make an example, no. So when Adolf Hitler,
yeah.
So when him in the sign I will use to and I said representing my Hitler. So when him
Nazi sign one.
Nazi sign where?
Yeah.
So when him says a side sign, according to Austria has a law, so a forbidden. Untimi, me even quite
Yes.
continue me sign into my home. I bet you Mrs. Ever find
Yeah.
Mrs. Or Germany the same thing on.
Yeah.
That what they say. Unim said before say Hitler be fast sign no. Amana yet appear so devilish, evil no. The sign was a symbol of Christianity. It was something good. It used to represent something good. Adolf Hitler.
Okay, for that aspect, I don't know.
Check, but check but swastika origin. Adolf Hitler and the first sign, no, every year on a symbol, and what they tarnish the image of that sign now after the sign about forbidden. And it's a who know Obishas has a talibi before Hitler, no neutral picture. That's the name of the picture nature. But the picture nature, why do you ever call Adolf Hitler at the end of the because the obey was so horrible. No say I covered everything that sign represented before Hitler by and there were history book could be na say who say Kwame Nkrumah me make example keke na say ye nanom bi mo omo hyehyentale bi a sa sign ni woman people will say oh in nanom kwapo so no mo ye wicked no mo kwapo no mo support but so ko hwehwe ma omo share no they had a different understanding, different meaning. It that thing no enye immoral bi at that time no so it time na Bible regulations we say no so slavery no and I make country say it was a something, it was a process there. It was there for the needy, for the poor people. It didn't almost say me na minisika me na mini japade me na me won so hwemu me na me wo ahokyeremu okay me hu de menye say me ntimi nda bonten me ntimi survival and I will sell myself to the rich person no and I say my jisika we free no honom na ma ton me ho de ama no na me de aiden ade atete maker. So what I say now, it was a way out for us, for the person. Ebi wo honum sisi ya me no wo ka say ebi da so koso Ghana because obi timi de ho ko enkwaso mu se me ba be ye adwuma ma wo. Me ba be somo na wo ma me dwetre bi, na ebi ene papa de dwetre ni kwa ye adwuma na oba na ye adwuma ma sikani bi okumase.
Yeah, like even though still a coso. Still a coso. It doesn't mean say a correct thing and a right thing and a very moral thing.
How is that immoral? How is that immoral? Say,
to own a human being is immoral. To own a human being immoral in any form.
Like what?
Say in return. It's
but
immoral.
To own a human being, say be at me who said yeah, because say prisoners, no. They are the state owns the prisoners, no? Immoral.
Very, very moral. They are criminals and they are supposed to be owned by the state.
You don't have to be a criminal. You don't have to be a criminal to be in prison. No? You don't have to be because your criminals will
once you are in the prison, it means you are a criminal. It can happen by mistake. Maybe by mistake. You'd be also. But Obi prison, we have the ideas why it would be, but slaves are innocent people.
That is why that said maybe what is slave now? Why do you cause to say slave is somebody now or you're black?
Then they should find a good word for it. And your mom word
was there before this
slave.
Udin is saying Jiboni, okay. Jiboni, TBO. Me na me wankwa me na me ho akere me say no okay. Me obi obekwa bia.
Yeah.
What you say na? Na say me ka say okay. Obi me hia getre bi. Enti obi e de sika e mame. Or the sika na mame na me ma ye adwuma man for 7 years, for 6 years, 7 years. Bibisa na Bible no e time a e da so mpo. Enti wo ye adwuma na enti wo dipa kwa no watowa just say oh ye wadwuma de atewoka uchia woka wi a onto obi
o ye labor and your mom friend is a labor mom friend is a slave
and I make can say that time no we use the word slavery no the slavery didn't have this bad image on it said e wo honne no and
okay so I suggest say e be no more laborers there and let me compromise na matter what
They were like labors. They were labors. And you say, yeah, because men are music at all. At the moment, you cannot just say, because my toy, it's who you are, I'm coming I can try the best man. And so we are who the same position and one. And then
but they were allowed to be beaten. But the Bible allowed the masters to beat them or something like that. They were beaten, right?
If they were beaten, they are mean to me. Many verses just said the master should beat them. But even though so you couldn't say the you couldn't do that in the Bible. The Bible doesn't support. Many verses just say they can beat them. Said this. I mean, who verse baby do one my
okay. Okay, the young channel also. Not the last time now, yes, should be said, where do we get our morals from? We never get our morals from religion.
Okay,
never.
Jubeni. The point in any say, okay, say me the course our topic with this one. Me die better through I don't know. So me another brother is online as well. Person me for Tumpiwale, you have to come back, okay? Tumpiwale come back so I can pick you. Richard Fagani. Me die better. You better topic for now. Ya kasa for home, okay, Mr. Wa. Okay, me sorry, what's it? Richard.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Richard Michelle. I'm tough time to say, you know.
We're out of time.
Okay, Richard, try so over okay. So it is okay, Richard, into
so you see why you believe and you know you're not believers in Kasa. I say the questions now will be sana and yes you be sabi. And you see you know
okay, the topic
me stay also it is you know open so church slavery na our Bible no different from slavery na ye na nanom na omo ye na na say
ye na nam do man slavery bia o ye de be ye wo mo no
the omo de be ye na nanom slavery no
omo ye slavery but any different topic the omo de be ye na nanom no aha me say any the same okay the our Bible no totally different and the omo de be ye na nanom no totally different na wo so say wo dwen ho say
na enti the our Bible mu no ebinum nyame na ahye ebinum so omo ye o ba de abrofo no de be ye na nanom no o si da bia
o de kasa career metie
de abrofo no de be ye na nanom no abrofo na be ye omo ade enye nyame bi na ehye abrofo no say monko na monko ensibu e friends
me da say enti be mo shey kan no tobo enti nye be mo shey no be mo shey kan on video no mo say eye omo tire Bible no na omo de Bible no be ye nkoa but wo tire say there be nyop enye Bible no eye omo amagene me boa
tie manka tie nya seto nya botre tie me say Bible no slavery na wo mu no nyame bi na e kire nkrofo kwan ya omo mfa so nye omo ade
okay
ana me boa
no
broni ni so ni slavery na ono so eba no ono no oba ono na eba be slavery obetotoye nti so the book no okura book no na odeba eba odeba be slavery na ohwe book nim na book nim slavery na ewo mu no e support ni slavery ade na oba be ye na difference be na ewo mu
my question
settle me say nimpa na ono nimpa na oba be ye slave no oba no okura book na ni book na okura no book na okura no ya chiro wo mu say slave obey your master
okay eno kwa na ya chiro wo mu
me ba wo de me say me come asem me say book na okura no a odi be slave mu no ya chiro book ni mu say slave obey your master na o kan kire me say book na ekura me say slave obey your master. Ana de make enti no akwan bi so no slavery no enya support wo book ni ma e support no na yi agenda oba be ye say nyame bi na so ma no kura mpa ni book no e support na agenda no book no kura no e support na agenda no enti difference na wo mu ne say slavery na okay me person be say slavery na wo Korean mu no any slavery na wo Bible no and also difference woman
big difference. Now
big difference
who say Bible there no Bible no way before Quran and Quran buy. Muhammad the buy and as a prophet Quran he owned slaves based on skin colors, black slave now or be. Jesus time no he didn't there's Oman only slave. To make a difference a woman say the slavery in the Bible no are there Exodus what there na regulations for one. You cannot go and kidnap somebody and go and sell the person. That's what you say, son. Son Exodus to children. Ben Moshe can wait children one answer one kind.
Fato favors ne to so na yan kan
yan favors ne to one. It's Ben Moshe wait the one kind children. Ana
there be yes one kan children me friends and the program no me dey start
one ma verse number chapter 21 na Ben Moshe di gina so your program na ankasa na wo. Or say he, listen carefully, he who kidnaps a man and sell him, or if he is found in his hand, shall surely be put to death. Verse 16. According to the Bible, no, say uko kidnap obi na uko ton nipa krona. Wo yebechewa yebekun nipa krona ko kidnap on yebekun. Into kidnapping somebody and selling somebody, no, the Bible is totally against it, forbidden. Which means, with this Bible verse, slavery be anti me because po Ghana and Cameroon for the Bible no mudi baba ya, or mudi pen no Bible on community mean slave because yana no a kidnap and selling kwa no mudi. So what you say?
And you kidnap and sell. Verse ba kuna na one suhini so e kan ho asem no. Verse back on or say a friend saying so a slave master no elbow ni slave na 3 days now when we are 3 days now when we are
Tobo okay and to see someone who said verse we say or Bible ni mu enti say me say the same verse na ministry ni akasa fa the whole time no to see verse we tell verse we say
verse when kwano at the end na kasafa ho a o yi verse when kwan ya o ka ho asem
me kasafa ho kire wo say man laws no the same chapter na ye kasafa slave no verse 21 chapter 21 na ye kasafa ho and e kire wo say obi obe kidnap obi an one law and go on no if you kidnap a man and sell the person okay why o kidnap you no ye chiwa e bekum where they observe
say so to Shadi or say who kidnap and sell who kidnap and sell if he found in the hands shall surely be put to death. In your kill as a moon and one can't kill us in Biaha.
Now put to death, I say
that only a punishment for Nimpa or bet you be a cotton or kidnap on Anamibwa. But the other verse, no, one can kidnap who has a moon. The other verse, no, they're not only, I think, say 21, we now 21.
Point now, what I say
2021.
Yeah, me tell 21, 20, okay. But point now, what I say in the Bible, no, kidnapping and selling, no, forbidden. So what you say now? And you who say slavery na na omode be na no e Bible na e kire wo mo e Bible no musu free e Bible na direct wo mo but omo ba no on be kidnap and they sold us but Bible na e against that and omode ba Ghana ho no enye Bible na kire wo mo sa point na me pese wo ti ase no e na me de kire wo no And yeah, one verse we say our Bible ni mo Bible Exodus 21:16 now. Ebe destroy the whole slavery system na about Africa and ebe this so omo obey Bible no so omo follow Bible nkwa dia because obi ebe kidnap obi bia no ebe kuno translation we say important can other translations no e ma different krampo ka ho. I mean we say New International Version one na because King James there e mo money bro for kind of mo use so
me o de amount we free 2021 no na me come asem o
I went for New International anyway. Okay.
Entina ya nkremo forecast Bible no ya ye ni bebre ya on
translation translation nkremo for the no more translation bebre ho no bebre kwa
na mo translation bebre enti den enti na o kire say obekan a kofa me original source Arabic no na kan enti wo so obekan a wo so kofa Hebrew no original Hebrew no na wo so akan
Muhammad kan kire Angel Gabriel na ono Muhammad Allah edit book ni bre no ono ka kire Allah say ne nkofo them Arabs no they cannot understand one Quran enti yen for 7 Qurans them 7 different recitations them bre no enti Muhammad krampo time no o say Arabs for no monte one Quran penny too hard for them enti Muslims no mo krampo mo use that argument no krampo no e mo do say no mo sua any one recitation penny o mo nyina o mo sua Faton chain okay
Seto Matthew Yambotre. The Okano, Muslim for all the Ana Okano. Oh, now you're Christian. This year, verse na ye can what work of a different translation be bread. And to no, so own doubt to translators no. Una is check the original source no say send an original source no I can not translators no obia translating the no the opebia and say one different translation.
Okay, and me check here you know and I say me check here me the comparison no because translations is awesome and would the comparison now we the idea now then can't tell because Bible no didn't come what say the book is there not to teach you righteousness. Things go Bible and things be Bible it is going to correct our mistakes. Say we say to teach us. Verse we say na verse number 21. This we need kasa for verse we ho me na kasa ho awie and I also yes amra ha say the verse ba kwa kire wa Ben Moshe wan fan kire we say na e wo ho no kidnap obi a ye beku wan fan kire or the verse number 26 na kire
na so no onu na etu ni verse ana o etu ni verse na o Quran na ya o kan no o two verse ni na also ba o teachings wo ye no Debbie o teachings wo ye no and na wo ye ho friends and lessons say ade nyema me ko kire verse we and
mama kan say nchiro enu ntina me ka kire wo no me nya propaganda me metra ha say intentionally and can be been for Quran ho Islam ho just because say I want to make a point keke so what say me two verse bia wo Quran ni mu na meaning the context of the verse, you know. And you say, obi the context for be about no can say verse when I will to you know understanding be what I say, na minima, then I will learn and I will not make the same mistake again.
Enti Ben Moshe ni problem ni sense ono so okoye ni lesson no we to the verse. We to the verse or they can accept. Now because say one can we am fan one can
or misrepresent no.
Can you the verse now? The verse of 2 years now, we say, or Messi represent no, a verse ben or Messi no.
Ain't Ben Moshe, Muntie Ben Moshe.
Na se akwane ka se
enemy
ma
na me pese me fam ho kodi a
me pese me fam ho akodi a
ene ni wura no
ene ni wura no
emfa ne mpra onyankopan nim
emfa ne mbra nyankopan nim
na onfa no embra epono no ana pongwa no ho
eye we wa shemra for slaves ni enko tie na so na nche so ye slave ko obo ni slave
okay verse number
20 me ba chaw Bible nyankopan be kire kwan fa so bu slave how to beat your slave nyansa
what's the Bible ni nyankopon ne pekire we kwan ye fa so bull slave how to beat your slave kire me baby a Bible ne kire se kwan ye fa so bu slave
Mom, so come on, on funny verse in Brandon can.
What can you make a statement? No, or say, tell me, baby, a Bible on a chair, or quite a slave on a chair, and find a Bible on a chair, sir.
Ah. And David.
What's the
Settle.
Richard.
Settle. Verse now the toast no. Saying a Casa Friday. Verse 20 no 21.
Emma say, because you have a chair, a quiet, a fast door. So what I say now, but it's how over door. How I obey. Emma say, time now, Ebia Yankopon Soma Moses no, or Chile, Ebia would not say for Pomano to say. One a chair will say, you say, when you can see a chair will be at the city on ye. So what I say, yeah, chair will say, you say. But Sana, I have one chair, baby, yeah, chair almost tell me what I want to tell best, no, Muntebio. When you can't,
so you slave. Call Obuni slave.
Okay, verse number
20. Beba chow. Bible nyanko po beche kwa yefa so bu slave. How to beat your slave. Nyansa.
How to beat your slave. It is been better than say, na maka me bie Quran anymore, na maka say, Quran e kire wo say bia, must say ye call Quran chapter 3, and also Quran chapter 4 verse 34 and say bibisa. Baby e kire wo say wife no or ye miss or there disobedient. So who fear say your wife is disobeying you now, you can warn her, admonish her and I say bibisa, you can stay away from her in bed. Only them compass so and now you can strike her. Me can say sana Quran can you can strike her sana Quran can. And to me make say Bible Quran what you will do with your wife. So wife will disobey wa. I can give you the verse. So what you say now. But it's here no say ale Nyankopon kire e fa no kire san. You can call yentie do kan.
Yamfa nyame asem nto nche. Yam brand logic. Many P black na tina P black ayi ade na enye. Na ma P black na ni nyina moja. Na 2 days 3 days later P black wua. Why ne ku P black?
Yebechowa.
Yansa why ne ku P black?
Oh.
Higher sense of justice. Me na meku nana P black kan.
Exodus 21 verse 20.
Exodus 21 verse 20.
Moment sentie bi okay, but Moshe can say so ono bu P black. And if mu nyina too moja. Let's say 2-3 days P black wua, when they ko no. Say Bible no so kire say wo bo no e ma ne hwene mu nyina too moja ma ne se ba akokora mpoto a. Wa wo bo no wo slave master no e wo say wo ma slave no ko. Wo slave no he has to go free. Sana Bible no kire, be Moshe kan we kire o. Say I am pastor say wo bu P black e ma ne hwene mu nyina tutu moja. According to the Bible, no, he has to set him free. And the sikana na say ekabia na odi nipa kono ahyegu. Sana Bible ne cheno. Ye na no mo kwa nkwaso no. Sana ye de ye wo mo. Did they have the right?
I have an oka say obona na ashegu.
Ina me kanu ba mo say ina me say wa anye wa adwuna na hono ma obi be yusu ama wo. The same chapter hono na verse 26 and the go hono no. Verse 26, okay, an owner who hits a male or female slave in the eye and destroys it must let the slave go free to compensate for the eye. An owner who knocks out the tooth of a male and female slave must let the slave go free to compensate for the tooth. And to man to tune in the same I know. So what you say now? It is that law we say no Bible no no. I don't think Ben Moshe e kan verses we nyina dey kira man for no. One kind we anka ho. But o kan we ka ho na e be prove say slavery na e cause so Africa no. Enya sa na e wo Bible no because slavery na e cause so Africa at the time no. Obi si tukura po na obetwa won sakra to akone inform ho.
Seto fa me say 2021 no. Me pese ye be batra me pese me 2021
A good screen so kind of meteo. Meteo.
Yes. Anyone who beat their male or female slave with a rod must be punished. If the slave dies as a direct result. as a direct result. But they are not to be punished if the slave recovers after a day or two, since the slave is their property.
Okay. And what kind of best we say no? Richard, yes, it's here. Or say, but if they are not to be punished, if the slave recovers after a day or two, okay, since the slave is his property, or can I say a day or two, no, or can say, but if he dies after a day or two, or more the share one, say a day or two, so would they are slave no be free, or more can be share one.
If he recover after a day or two, since the slave is their property.
It's can say after a day or two, no, or more can say after a day or two, no, so would they are, then the master will go free.
One for who am show. One for no, say intro will be and share honum.
Yampa, I didn't know Ben Moshe or do over share on him. Yenti Ben Moshe.
And there be change.
Debbie, so what you can answer?
Yeah, Bonnie.
Who be a machine on Yenti Ben Moshe?
Nafuna, who made, ana who slave obana bema
na bonaba
o kire so to me bono o bonaba
na oto de sa no a
na owu e wo won sa no a
re e na wonto no
yenku so bi. That means obu slave no owu a on the spot a yenku bi e perfect ana perfect life for life afet waso
we grandpa was say on the spot. Bible now can say on the spot, and can say on the spot, but Ben Moshe try say on the spot.
Ma ode ma kokweche kakra na people can Bible. Na say ono o kind the
that's the point
can no.
Debbie and the people Ben Moshe the joint be say mo a and then ma would say wow I did we say horrible
Debbie settle anu do me say can kokweche kakra ma
on the spot now Ben Moshe the share hono no yes na Bible nim on the spot to be answer.
And me say Bia fantina people can no wo mti no kan na mti na meka se kwache kakra na mintie no kwache na etie fontie
enti wo da me embo yentie
no o say wo Bruce slave no na slave no tena ho dakro 1 day and 2 days
won to no re
there be no wu after 2 days here and the master ni nim ho re
say what say enti na owu after 2 days me busa before no catch them say we are honest now me busa o say owu obi anhye honom and the good screen so owu obi anhye honom but Ben Moshe kan kire no say na owu after 2 days ya master ne ento no re enti kire ba bia owu ni hye after 2 days na we fa or say if the slave recovers after a day or two since the slave is the property owu ni hye fa and he dies no or say after 2 days na owu a yen turn red. And the Bible they can say after 2 days that's owu a yen turn red. And no kind. Yeah, just say their own pen of query there. But so be na make cano small details, you know, and the man for convince. So yes, I can, but the way now open portray the extra man for no. And a man for by doing say, oh, send I didn't can ya GDW enti a man for enko check and say, who you were in the tone chain? Now, because I never with a best spread it, and yes, I didn't can. And yes, I didn't.
Debut, now 21 the 21 for 21 account because I didn't some no account.
That's no. Hey, my guy, her screen is 21 and that's no.
Me who is anti American.
It was school. You were 21 1 year can after a day or two 21. No.
Okay, yeah, but. Yeah.
Okay. Richard, we have a homeboy. Me say yes, me ye Christian, you know, tension a crabum. Me tiase, okay. I hope that one day no so better than maybe I say. But the point I'm top of my point I'm making and say me say bia me can be bia fan say me claim say me nananom. Okay, no my better na say na me can same before nananom so ho a entisa na say wo nim na bia me wo don mo say tie me na mo gye me say de me kan ye no kre na say wo nim say de me kan ye no kre na wo evidence na wo proof bi
Now, but the video of one, I will not consider you say we are enemy and not say Bibisa because we are all open to learn. Just because say Ben Moshe, you know, just because say Ben Moshe, what try any of be say me kind, my think I video account before no. Obi obeka say asem bia Ben Moshe can be I am trono, nipa kro no ye kontompofo. Obi obeka say asem bia Ben Moshe e kan nyina ye no kore no, nipa kro no so ye kontompofo. Enti e wo say wo hwe ensem no, de o kan enye no kore no. Yeah, need a dom to say Ben Moshe. Enti kakra na e obetim no, also ma amanfo ya aware. But ye any ton chain, na say the ye hunu, na ye man e kan de enye no kore performer. No, why the same thing say the politicians the year, you know. Why the same thing say the pastors need be the members, no? The same thing say the Malams need the Muslims, no? Not the followers, no, of CSF, no? Exactly the same to say the Christians phobia here, need the Muslims phobia here, and the foot soldiers be here. Now if you the same thing, the Bemushe can be and one, and you're good. They're correct, no? They be accepted. They're correct, no? And one, no? Simple. Okay. Richard, we bet make one or two things because time and so once I end the program.
Yo, okay, Mate. See, me person me so me bisa say. That verse ya can ho asem hina no. Wo gidi say Yankopon bi na ochro e. E dey share book Bible ni mana.
Me gidi say Bible ni Yankopon no masem. E kasafa history ho. E kire Bible no. Wait, but me system no. System that slavery system a war in the Bible no and Yankopon invented it was there already. The people had it themselves. Yankopon give only regulation said they will not abuse it. But Yankopon inventing that system no it was there before. It was there. Only obey regulate my nipa because nipa is saying no mutie. That's what you're saying. If you say only invented, I don't know the
Enti no metuase a sa story no o say history
story about the history
there kan wa slavery no say history bi a esi here na ana yes
Bible ni mu I believe it okay yeah Bible ni
ana me say Bible ni enti u believe a me say u believe say nyame nyame enu ma asema nyame chro share book ni ana
yeah me believe okay Richard me believe
Seto and yes asem u believe say nyame na chro say
how many times but
we said the ODD agro be me believe I said the ODD agro
the Bible me believe it's question
enti ba say story na wo no say event AC o etwemu story aye den o history o ni hina bom na holy na nyame asem no ni hina holy both the stories
the Bible no can say you enema bi esisi o Bible no na it wasn't good but it is for our lessons so what is me the verse no to adeneso no I think say my verse no that so no ma the verse be to honum 2 Timothy okay it your things be happen here and good the good and the bad in our Bible no but it is to teach us. So you can't history, you can't say what happen with history man. Now you try history book now. Even the bad things now, what's it? Say they buy intimate repeating itself beyond intimate happen beyond. And the bad and the good, you know, it is there. But book only one say they be who be there bad be our. Tell what I say.
Debut. Settle. Debbie. Yeah, steady asem. Settle. Book ni holy. Book na essay or your holy Bible or your holy book.
Okay.
Ade ni holy. Nseme wo mi na holy. Ana nseme wo mi na holy.
Nseme wo mi na me ka che me say bien kan hear the Bible na kan Bible na be kasa fa no okay. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse number 16. All scriptures is inspired by God. It is inspired by God. And it's useful for teaching, for showing people what is wrong in their lives. That would say, for correcting faults and for teaching how to live right. That is the purpose of the Bible.
Until we say no, so Bible na didn't want to answer, Anna.
Yes.
But who cover Korea na didn't want to answer the Anna who Cassa say, ye mushe Korea na didn't want to answer.
It's just a bit just my example.
Oh, settle. Come on, Massa. Yeah, Bibra, or to me, quote you verse,
Okay,
say,
my example,
Korean,
my example.
Korean,
Debbie.
Korean, she,
Because
Mushe, Korean, they didn't want to dance, say, me, hurry, me, say, Yamin, I didn't buy.
cancer. Hey, Muhammad,
Settle, settle.
Muhammad saw a prophet there. Okay, according to the prophet,
And
before Debbie, according to prophet,
no, your prophet,
before.
no, on didn't want to dance here.
Yeah, the prophet on by before Ninano, so free the same God no more honum Ninano. It is the system now never honum before Ninano, or no quite a change. Oh, Tiana. So, a bit change topic and my time, so okay. Tumpiwale, who can say we have verse be their brain. Richard, my friend, was say, okay, next time, no, because topic me, yeah, change. The person can stay or has say.
No problem. This time, no. This time,
Richard,
no, me busy, Pantama, me che watch it. And me was shocks be brave. Now, no problem. Next time,
send me brave nice to okay, Richard, the friends was say. Hey, Milan Lion, yes, steady, one, yes, steady, okay, okay, other brother back, was what I say. Also say, Seto, the slave master, very logic, who logic be our say. I hope that people will understand, okay. The kind of check the swastika, the American found the symbol for Adolf Hitler. Symbol now Adolf Hitler ever fast symbol now where you soon on tarnish the image of the symbol. No? That symbol used to be a good symbol. Before Hitler used it as his sign, no? It was a good symbol. And say obi ye bibi and American your maid servant, your maid servant a normal thing. Say that time and say Ombeye yankwano, come on friend slave, and come friend maid servant, and can yanka complain it's a maid servant. Why would people have maid servant? Maid servant, wicked. Just because it will be fire be no destroying or somewhere, no, it doesn't mean say that thing and they represent it. Who logic, no, okay. And yes, slavery never Bible, no, it is different. Muhammad Awal went to my friend. Muhammad Awal, why didn't you call yesterday? You know that he was saying, say to open the phone lines. Someone 1 hour 41 minutes na yekasa si no and some seconds. And no me program na me post two video no. Muhammad Awal say to friend say to say Muhammad Awal couldn't call. You see what I say no, okay? Because some people no, they have made up their mind. They decide who they question and they decide who they don't question. So they will be mutrim. Where they make the main question a support my agenda, but ye chirimano me la layo me pese wo frɛ okay me pese wo frɛ because I was waiting on your call today. Kwabena, are you speaking about me? Me na want to make and I say you were waiting on my call today, no? Somebody's even trying to call me. At me time I wasn't me call, okay? Seto SSK, I'll end the conversation here. The point in Nina say Suini wants to come in for 1 minute to be okay. Suini.
Yeah, hello, Seto.
Suini, me time on us, so until who say what's a private message, and until I may throw no.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something because when the brother was on, you brought up a verse that says that one cannot kidnap and sell slaves, right?
Okay.
There was a verse that you put on.
Exodus chapter 21. Exodus 21, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay. So and I saw that you said it is for the Israelite.
Yes.
Okay. Prove it to me, okay? Because my time is up, but I want to see where you get this idea from.
Okay. You know they have separate laws for the Israelites and separate for what do you call it? But to just say, the laws were not for everyone. So
no, be careful, Suini. Let me put the verse one more time on the screen. Let me put it on the screen. Exodus 21, okay? So the verse here, listen carefully. Exodus 21, it says, anyone who kidnaps someone. It didn't mention Israelites. It didn't mention the Jews, the Gentiles. Anyone who kidnaps someone is to be put to death. So what do you mean this is for the Israelites?
This verse belongs to the part which is for the Israelites, the laws for the Israelites.
And how did you come to this conclusion?
What do you call? No, you just check the laws.
We are
That
checking. You go. You see, when you go to verse 20, the verse 20 where Ben Moshe quoted, that one day it is for us, right?
oh, relax. The
Oh,
law.
the dishonesty. You know. You see now the verse Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse number 7.
You don't want me to. You let me speak, Seto.
Yeah, because you let me show you the verse that you are talking about. Let me show you
No,
the
but
verse.
let me say something.
Say something. We are listening.
Okay. I have one Exodus 12:44. Okay.
You see, Sweeney, look at this
Wait,
verse. I
wait,
want
Seto.
people to see. I want people to see. Say the Bible.
No
No,
problem. I don't have
if
problem
someone
with.
caught kidnapping a fellow Israelite, you see the difference here? If someone is caught kidnapping a fellow Israelite and treating and selling them as slaves, the kidnapper must be purged the evil from him.
Yes. So this is for the Israelites.
Okay, so you see now, this is for the Israelites, and
Yeah.
Exodus 21 is for who?
It's the same. It applied to the Israelites.
Anyone. It says anyone who kidnaps someone. What do you mean it applies for the Israelites?
Seto, okay. Just I want you to check something for me.
So just say this verse, it doesn't apply for the Israelites alone.
Yeah, it does. Seto, leave that aside.
Look at this. The dishonesty is amazing. Okay, what do you want to say, Sweeney? I'm listening.
Okay. I have Exodus 12:44.
Okay.
Can you put it on the screen?
Okay, read it. We are listening.
Yeah, you read because I'm not seeing the screen.
But you are open. You see, when you say your verse, I want you to read it yourself, because if I read it, maybe I will misread it or something. Please do it. Do your job.
No, you read.
Sweeney, please read your verse for us. My time is up. I have to go, please. Sweeney, we are waiting. Hello? Are you there? Sweeney is still there, okay, but he has muted the phone. I think that he's busy. So let me just read it. Okay, any slave you have bought may eat after you have circumcised him, but a temporary resident or a hired worker may not eat it or may not eat it. Okay, I don't know why he quoted this verse. Okay, but I don't know. I can say it. But the point is, male and lion, me say you're steady. You're steady. Mohammed Awal said he's calling on Messenger. But I don't pick, because don't call me on Messenger. Why would you? You see, I've made it available to call on WhatsApp, to pick the link, but you still call on somewhere as Messenger. Call me live. I don't even know which Messenger you are calling me from. The thing, and they say, okay, it's a time and I have to end the conversation anyway. You see, I have I think it's 4 different Facebook accounts. I have 2 Facebook accounts and a BIA page. The Facebook account and the page, and I say the site, you know. Ebia so extra messenger. It have 4 different messengers. It is a me logo in wa say, na me logo in wa say, na me logo in wa say ya. Ebia wo frame me kwana po na my logo in with another account. Me messages bebre all of them. It mean who me checking po. It frame it maybe a program a frame or say call me here, okay? Seto SSK. 1 hour program maybe I could do no, okay? I think say clear. Nobody is above questioning. Nobody. So, if you think, say, you can question God, who do you think you are? Say, we cannot question you. What I say now? Say, we are CSF member. Now you think, say, you can question God. It is your. You have the right to question God. I'm not. Person question God. Why will God do this? Why did God? You are pointing fingers. But so be question Ben Moshe wo bofu. Ben Moshe kura popun fu yo. Yes, steady. Okay. Yes, steady. No one is above questioning. No one. Either you say in American, you speak the truth will stick. It will stick forever because it was the truth. So because of view agenda be a want, you are presenting the message, in a way now it will gain you something today now. It will disgrace you tomorrow. Simple. Okay? I can speak out of ignorance. No, I can't be there and that is not intentionally because I thought that the information I was mistaken. It happen. It happens to everybody. Pronunciation. Can be another pronounce. No what? So what I say? Addition, subtraction. Bibi said some things will happen. But say me intentionally, verse ni Quran ni Musa. But me person me can in a way, na said be ya amount for be jimadi. Na ma feature verse, Quran ni kwanzo feature bibia o Quran ho. Bibia feature already. Me la lion. Wona kaminya o line so na ke be me there. Okay? Because kaminya be kasa. But I think they also try to be truthful. Some people say me truthful, but they cannot point out. I'm going to point out what I am being untruthful. Yeah, one of the question we say, okay, hey, I have repented, okay, it's yesterday. Hey, Seto SSK. Maybe Muhammad, I will make later back door near Casa, okay. It's ever programming, so I say, no, Mr. I won't share, Montague amount for the fact, and they say, oh, say, mechanical credit part, chewa. No credit, me say, is a who was our Bible. No me say videos are Avraham Ben Moshe huna I can do videos about him no. Say me ka say me be yes adwuma na e be kwa koye to say UTI that one. E be kwa koye to say bonded Sean Nation. So they say e be kwa koye say bia e Ben Moshe nko na me focus on so. Videos bebre o honom na o kan sem bi o honom na entisa nyisa na Bible ne kan. But me pese ebe happens ha. Say because me end up Moshe every day be Moshe. One day we will make you back confirm. Maybe back confirm. Because I think a lot of people if they get to understand the truth, the Bible nature really now, okay? And you might be changing. Okay? Tumpi wale afraid you mama fa Tumpi wale. Hello Tumpi.
Yes, I do.
What who the best na work actually,
Oh, David verse in the my friend, Matt de la one to my gift in the chain. But the reason why I'm able to and your topic in Mayba because we can send we can be free. We want to be free, no, none so 8 years. Into a case or 8 years, and now person would just say 8 years in the and papa.
Yeah, it is
another time. Now, person would show me the reason why 8 years and your papa na Yamusumum na papa.
I mean, because according to atheists, no, okay. Say who Tumpi wale sebe say who are only Adolf Hitler mo ina mo yepe.
So in what sense?
Adolf Hitler when papa na so in pabonini.
Oh, in pabonini son of
and no uzo in papa because the why no unya nyemu 1.100 comma unya nyemu hwe krampo no but se bumi enu nyina no mu a mu nyina mo ye the same equal mu nyina ntenten horo bi hwe ni and with this idea
no so to what can I because what some can I say when we decide I say when we who decide what happens.
Because we are atheists now. You won't GBB and they said there is nothing after death.
We are a mistake. When time is we name nothing about atheism. We are atheists and just say and GBB and D. Yes,
I didn't know GD. Atheists in general GD.
Okay, maybe this question you are. Answer Nakupana Muso Burias and Obi and
Obi Tumpi focus okay. Me can say na wo say o kire me say what be say my explain kire me say adekonti 8 years them enye good no and then say unyam hono ma na wo be ka say bia value be any life ni mo no enti adeboni bia obi abeye bia no as wo as enipa na wo te hono ma wo live we no o life ni adopted value ni nyina the same okuni pa san kra we fa ho the one you okọ kidnap okọ repu akra no
they be a wrong thought.
Wrong
thought to go out together.
How is it wrong? I didn't know what you did. I would say, oh, life or no.
No, me 8 years, me ba 8 years, one years here. What do you mean? Say, because or 8 years or you for money me.
David, men cancer, Tumbole, men cancer, man cancer, so because or 8 years or you for money.
Example,
me say, because
just say, on Kenny Pound, sign up person.
David, why do you know? I want our goodness, man cancer, Prampo has it. David, yes, men cancer,
that to make sure difference, Mama, young argument, because you don't know anything about it. Mama, show difference. Maybe young nanny will be asked, so young nanny will be asked. Maybe so question the answer. Nyakupona or almost your boss soon as I know, Obian that, no Bian that.
You're the manifestation. We are the manifestation. Tumpole, me time so. It went to frame because the 8 years. Why a logic we say? Tumpole yan casalita because I didn't move frame because of 8 years as and so maybe ordinary now. Me can't tell say 8 years, so we 8 years now. Okay, only who crime person who can so do be wrong as an 8 years no. You don't have any right to say the way you're wrong and the way they're correct because they didn't want to be said they will be correct. We are 8 years. And I want to be me nyankopon. Wona be ka kire me say me ye we ya wrong. Say me to slave are wrong. As 8 years obetima kan we kire me. Are you my God? Untimi nka kire me sa, okay? Enti wo friend my mom hu ade konti 8 years em no. Ni mat de la honti na o kan was ma hwe bi da. Once again no before no me question Christianity no me nam 8 years for platform so and I meet tie o mun sem ni we bi no. Me we me call him for Islam, them who take Islam for platform. And so we have call a Christopher baby or questions and answers. And when I'm coconia wisdom. But did I want to win your argument on the mountain and then I'm a way a crime be on before so on the feed almost serve us, huh? With time or so, and one okay, with time or so. With time or so, I will call my checking in our share. 8 years for me na mo page so videos am share about 8 years no bebre kwa videos am share about Islam bebre kwa me and some point na me kwa videos about Christianity baby a Christopher no answers to questions no I want akokonya wisdom tumpo wale me time aso okay me time aso say the Milan line can I say yeah first was saying okay and we 8 years now as an 8 years no you don't have the right to question nobody. Said there will be any when a mouse authority and say where you're wrong now where you're right. But we are we believe in God and we know say God knows what is right and what is wrong for your time, you know. Or Timothy say God is the saying can the ultimate truth for no God in chain any 8 years need be unchained. 8 years no any party say me onim she okay. Seto SSK for program is what I say now. Mon sacra and sana too late. Okay, would you say I would obey me actually? Majority of people no, the only reason why now they ignore Christianity and they ignore its religion in altogether no, is because of their own desire. Their own desire, because what they want to do, they want to be the judge over themselves. They want to decide, say, and then they make a chile, me know about chile. Okay, next Tuesday, so my throw about we say. Until Wednesday on a panel. Say more about we call this time make me go share another girl we say what I say me na me live life. That is the mentality. So what was that until the moon say have fun no be say until the logic now no majority of people now they ignore Christianity, they ignore the true religion no because of what they want to do. And because of these things, you know, they don't want to hear about Christianity because if there is no God, who is going to judge them? They can judge them. They judge themselves. They make the decision. They decide that they're good. Until with no guilty conscience behind him, because there is nothing. Nobody is judging him. Okay, but to a Christian, you know, that's what when the pono, say when the team says, "Hey, Charlie," I did say, to feel guilty and you want to obey me so I can no man san or bro of course or a Christian so nyankopon bia e betimi ahye ne nkwa man ka se chale ade we se de enye but they only nyankopon bia no menka so obi ni Nyankopɔn bia na obi ni Nyankopɔn de oni papa ni o mesrew menka ne sa wo ha sei menka ne say so obi ka so onye Kristoni a that means ohwepo no nko a obi ka so onye Kristoni a ono mo nsa nko a ye wo amanfo omo ngi Nyankopɔn di omo fa pono nya hwe omo fa nsa nya hwe omo fa ma nya hwe because omo nhwe sa nema we se no nyina no ye wa Kristofo bebre omo ye sa nema we nyina mesrew menka ne sa wo ha sei nyesa na meka okay seto it says me time aso okay mila lion comment in whatever that's it me time aso you see what I said okay until the next time you better say on seto it says get for muntie madela hunting.
There are people who will argue that atheism means lack of a belief in a God. I don't particularly like that one. I've used it in the past. I've stopped using it.
Atheists were changing argument. So what they have stopped using it. Seto it says get for mama bye. Me time aso okay mama bye.